Hello and welcome. It is the 11th day of October 2019. And I don't really feel like covering really anything as far as crypto charts, at least not yet. Maybe later in the day. It definitely was something happening and definitely would have wanted to do so there. I mean, there's a little bit of stuff to go over, but just that a little bit. I've made just one ratio trade today. But interesting, I want to talk about sports gambling. Advantage gambling because what I'm talking about and what I'm doing here, I highly believe is majorly advantage. I'm going to talking about player props specifically, odds available and lines available from Cloud Bet. They just happen to accept Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash as their deposits and their withdrawals. And I'm okay. Let's just go over that. Then we can go over daily fantasy stuff. A lot of good information if you're into that. It's very profitable, so I'm gonna definitely look more into playing it more aggressively. And last night I had my fourth win, 4 of 5 thus far. As I started off with Brady under 276 passing yards, being a loser. But under 36 and a half 2 games ago was a winner. Holmes last week not getting an interception was a winner. Bayfield throwing an interception on Monday Night Football was a winner. And then last night Brady going under 37 and a half was a winner. Thank you for that tackle at the end of the game to stop Edelman. He got a 36-yard catch when garbage time was being played. So that puts my record to 4-1. Now Dare Ogun Bawali, however you pronounce that, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce Mike's name. I got his line. I got over 50 and a half yards, but I can't find it available. He's a running back on the Tampa Bay game. But Mike Gesicki on Miami Dolphins is available, and I'm going under 60 and a half receiving yards, minus 120. Just quickly looking at his statistics, he only had a handful of games. Well, one, two, three, four, 5 of his 16 games that he played last year, which he managed to go over that number that he's been given for this game. And so far for this season, only once of four. So 6 of 20 games, he has managed to have that many receiving yards. And I look at snap counts in here. There's nothing to tell me that he's going to do anything out of the ordinary. His over/under, I think, should be probably somewhere in the mechanism of around 10 yards, I would think. But it's 16 and a half, so I'm going to go under the total. And I'm hoping to go over some more games later today, and thus talk about more of them tomorrow as extra plays. But I want to transition into daily fantasy football. First football, then into hockey. Two totally different games, totally different strategies. As we can see here, 141.96 points was the winner by 28 different people. I downloaded all the data. There's 140,000 plus, or 120,000. I think it's 140 plus people that have played this game. Yeah, 140. So I downloaded the spreadsheet, which gives me the ranking of the person, the entry ID, the entry name, the time remaining. This was after the game was over. Their fantasy points, the lineup. So I can do a lot of stuff with that lineup, and then the captain. So with all this data, let me just go ahead and show you my final statistics. As far as captain ownership is concerned, and they don't tell you this on the site, that you have to find this yourself. I know how to do it, and I did it. 19.83% of all captains were the Patriots, followed by Tom Brady at around 16. Sony Michel and Julian Edelman both coming in at around 9 2/3, 9 3/4. Josh Gordon and James White between 4.5 and 4 3/4%. Then we have Daniel Jones, the first Giant, in at 2.36%, and to Golden Tate in at 2.13%. What does this tell you? This tells me a lot of things. One, the game is still played as it's been normally played. How is Sony Michel 9.7% owned and Edelman 9.6% when Edelman's going to be winning the. He's by far was the favorite to get the most points. Patriots defense was the winner. But Edelman's going to get the most points most of the time. Then we got between Patriots defense and Brady. Then you got guys between Michelle and James White. And even guys like Josh Gordon, although he was in a bad spot, I felt. Golden Tate, only 2.13%. Giants were hardly picked at all. So like hardly anyone went with the Giants. And one way of looking at it was the Patriots defense was captained almost 20% to the Giants 0.47%. And contrarian is how you have to go in this game. 100%. Do what you can to make your lineup unique. I was watching this game late in the second half, and I was currently in second place, point zero 0.05 points out of first. Nobody with the same score as me, meaning I had a unique lineup. So I gave myself a realistic shot at winning that $1,500. But those people that finished in the top there, well, they did not. More statistics. There was 142,522 lineups. 13,000 of them in 13 were different. I knew how to figure that out, and I did. The largest lineup was shared 1,966 times. So if that finishes in first, of that $1,500 prize, you're going to get somewhere around $8 or $6. Yay. And 1,881 of these lineups were shared at least 10 times. So when you play these high figure games with so many with fields of large proportions, and 140,000 is most certainly that of a large proportion, you got to do what you can to be unique. And in these showdowns, it takes a lot of work. If you want to put that Patriots defense in, you got to get very creative by playing guys you really haven't heard of that are going to come through. You got to shave a lot off your cap, and I mean a lot sometimes. With me, I only use like 85% or 87% of my cap, and I could have went 75 if I wanted to at times. But something to make my lineup unique to give me the advantage. Now, hockey, man, that's getting sick as well. And I love this one because this one here, first of all, how do you profit on this? Well, if you play those sick, unique lineups, oftentimes you're going to go against the grain. You have a worse shot at cashing compared to some of these lineups that are more common, which can hurt you for the all of the caches that are not in the top, because you'll just get those better caches that way. But it helps you because you can actually hit the top prizes better more often. So if I'm getting 6,000 to 1, which is what 1,500 is on a 25-cent bet for a win, which I think I could do with the lineup that I had yesterday, 1 in 6,000 times or better. Plus I'll have my share of min caches and moderate caches and all the others. Then it's a profitable long-term strategy, but you're probably going to grind your account lower because of all the top heavy prize payout fields that this has. I did the same thing with hockey from yesterday's game. My best finish today was 115, which is right here. So maybe it was worse than that. I'll find it. 185, 185, 185. So, no, it wasn't 185. 160. I'm AG47. Okay, so this one didn't have as many lineups. Interesting, we got Derek playing in here too. Derek Steffen. He did bad. He did bad. But I thought they were putting my name in because that was me. Not kidding. There wasn't anywhere near that amount of people. There was 1,404 or 1,426 lineups here. But these people in here registered for the game but didn't put a lineup in. That was a mistake. You lose. There's just no other way around. The worst score was 8.1 that had a lineup. Who was their captain? Their captain was, and I put some statistics in there because obviously I do stuff like that. Malcolm Subban was the captain. He got injured in that game. So I got all the data. So within these statistics, let's take a look at some other spreadsheets. Spreadsheet number 2. That's just where I have William Carlson's name. That was a place to sort out where the common percentages were. And they were 199 times Mark Stone, Malcolm Subban 13.66% goalie, Darcy Kemper 13.45%. So the starting goalies were selected 27% of the time. I think that number is probably lower than it should. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to give out too much of my strategy here. If you want to know more, let me know. But this is stuff that you have to be contrarian a little bit. You don't have to go for unique lineups like the other one too much. Riley Smith 8% owned and Max Pacioretty. What really did catch me off guard was the amount of ownership of the Arizona or Vegas players over that of Arizona. You would think, hey, no, wait a second. Subban is 13 and 2/3 and Kemper is 13 and a half. That's even. Marc-Andre Fleury was also picked 3.18% as well too. And I even got deeper statistics as well. That blew me away as well too. Because I did more than just this for statistics. Because that's what I like is doing stuff. Phil Kessel just did horrible. Him and Stefan, and you know what? My score was bad, and my guys that I played did horrible. Which meant, okay, so on a bad day, if I'm getting like a small gain, that's like amazing, because the rankings that I had before, it was no different. The commonality in last night's result. I played twice as many lineups too compared to one. But coming in, okay, that's not it. Coming into this, the Winnipeg Islanders being the first one, I had a pro lineup for each team. And the pro lineup that won was the one that got me in the higher seed. And the winning one was near the upper end of the higher seed, 175 out of 1189, 69 out of 23, 112 out of 14, 101 out of 19, 300 out of 23, and 31 out of 2300. And then my worst ones, 11 out of, well, this one was like 27th last. That was just horrible. And then 1100 out of 23. This was phenomenal. Yeah, this was phenomenal going 11 out of 23. But then 1000 out of 14, 17 out of 19, even closer to 18 out of 19. 21 out of close to 24, and here was 22 out of 24. So my pro lineups are going to finish heavily near the top, and the losing lineups are going to finish heavily near the bottom. And I'm going to avoid a lot of the middle spots as possible within my strategy, and it's working out. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. My two pro lineups on Nashville cashed. So that's the math, and it worked out pretty well. So some other statistics within this. Let's go through within this. So this was that. What was sheet 4? That was just a spot where I have players' names for miscellaneous purposes. Sheet 5. What did I do on sheet 5? I have a sum here. Yeah, this was the one to figure out combinations. And I don't know what this was for. So some statistics. 1,172 different lineups out of a possible 1,413. The most common lineup played 20 times. And 11 times the lineup was played at least 10 times. And some other just out of curiosity that I seen. And I didn't put any more in, but this one was 12 times by Kemper as captain, Phil Kessel, Patrick Steffen, then you have Keller, Ekman, Larson, and Stastny. So that was 12 times, and 11 different people, but somebody had 20 times this exact lineup of Stone, Marchessault, Carlson, Smith, Carrier. Didn't do good. And same thing here, 10 times. I don't know if it's the exact same guy again. I don't mind putting 20 lineups in maybe, but that would be like 20 different ones kind of deal. That's a decent amount of work, but not too much along the way. And I'm going to finish it off by stating that the games that are played on here, it's just mathematics. That's all it is. Numbers. It's a numbers game. So again, let me know if you are interested in any more. The things like the DraftKings $3. This week it's over 500,000 people. There's a few little bits of things of knowledge that can give you an edge, but there's no major advantage playing that game, I don't think. Whereas the football game is more of a long-term advantage. Hockey game is short-term, and I kind of like that. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.